So of course, in our essays, we only really need 3 parts of our 3-body paragraph, so we don't have to use this 4th one. But if you wanted to, you could always you could put something here when you first begin having ideas, okay? So you guys could do the same if you're writing about apps or if you're writing about English classes. You could put the type of app here, like social apps. Then you could put here like Instagram, Facebook, things like that. And here you could put WhatsApp or communication apps. So one could be social, like pictures, photos, sharing links, things like that. And one could be more like communication, like WhatsApp or I don't really know the other one, Snapchat, maybe something like that. And then you could put here what you do with them. You know, you can call people, you can video chat people, you can have group chats. And the other one, you more like put your pictures or put your announcements for everybody. See, you have so much information just based on that brainstorming. So going back to group exercise, that's the topic that I'm now going to show you 3 example paragraphs. And they're all about group exercise, but they are organized in kind of different ways. So let me go ahead and share those. And I'm actually going to just have you read the first paragraph first. So this is, they will all start with the same topic sentence. So go ahead and read up to there. I'll just Okay, so hopefully you had, the finishing part. Overall, exercising in group classes is motivational and inspiring. Okay, so of course, let's analyze this paragraph a little bit. First, we have the topic sentence, okay? Group classes are a great way to exercise. So this one is going to be our topic sentence. And then the next sentence that we have is sort of really very general information. Okay, it describes the classes and sort of like how you do the classes. So it is very general. It describes what they are, how you can take these classes. Okay, and just to look at the finishing part of the paragraph before we really get into everything that's in the middle, we have also in this paragraph, we do have a concluding sentence, right? So we have overall exercising in group classes is motivational and inspiring. So this is the concluding sentence that just wraps up this paragraph. Okay, so what do you put in the middle? What do you put in the middle? That's the big question. Like, this is sort of like the sandwich. This is the bread, the beginning and the end. So what's the middle? Maybe the meat or the veggies or the cheese, okay? Whatever you put in the middle of your sandwich. So we are going to look, and here we see that this example of a body paragraph is really giving examples. Kebab. Sounds good. That sounds better. But do you put bread? You put pita bread with it. Okay. All right. So here we see that we have at least 2 significant benefits. 2 significant benefits. Okay. So the first one is this. Okay. And then we see another benefit, which is the people. Okay, so sort of look at this structure. We have 2 benefits. The first one is the instructor. The second one is the people. Okay, so we also have, after the part about the instructor, we have many sort of minor supporting details about it. Okay, they organize it. They make sure the exercises are effective. They're certified. They push you, they might make jokes or say encouraging things, okay? So all of these are details about the instructor. And then the second one is about the other people. Like you can take a class with a friend, you can make new friends. It might also make you feel competitive and you want to jump higher or stretch further. Okay? So sometimes maybe when you studied this before with another teacher, some teachers call these like major supporting ideas and minor supporting ideas. So the major supporting ideas are like the big supporting ideas, okay? So for example, in this paragraph, the major supporting ideas are the teacher and the classmates, okay, the other people in class. And the minor supporting ideas for the teacher are like organize, push you, jokes, okay, things like those are the minor supporting ideas. So this is one way that you can really organize your paragraph, your body paragraph, in order to provide a lot of support, okay? So when we look at that diagram that I showed you about with the circles, you can see that this almost exactly follows that circle diagram, because the major supporting ideas are closer to the center and the minor supporting ideas are further away from the center, okay? So this is a good way to organize your paragraph. The more ideas you have in there and you keep them organized, the better, okay? When I say you keep them organized, of course, what I mean is everything here is about the teacher. Like everything here is about the teacher, okay? And then the next part, everything is about the classmates. So we don't want to kind of mix those two. We want to put everything in sort of those chunks, those pieces together, okay? So what do you think? What's your opinion of this style of paragraph? So this style of paragraph is sort of like major supporting and minor supporting. Okay? What do you think of this? What is your opinion? Is this a good way to organize your body paragraphs? Is this a good way to write your body paragraphs? Is this easy or difficult? I agree, it is very classic, yes. Do you think it's easy or difficult to write like this? Okay, good. I'm glad this seems easy. Any other opinions? Does everyone think it's easy? Sometimes our brain just works like this. Okay. Well, okay. All right. Let's go to now I'm going to show a different way, because this is not the only way. You know, example essays you've seen, things you've read in reading class might have a different way that we are organizing our body paragraph. So I'm going to now show two different ways, because they're about the same topic, but you might want to, but they're sort of organized differently, because I want to show you how to use different variety, okay? So again, we start with the topic sentence and follow the topic sentence with some general information. So we have so just so you know, we're going to start again with the topic sentence, the same topic sentence. That's just to show us. Look at that. It's already there for me. And then here we have that general information with what and how. Okay, so what do we have after that? You guys take a minute to read it. Okay, so this is a different style of body paragraph. And does anybody know, what do you think this style is called? What style is this? Does any, or what kind of support? What kind of supporting ideas do you see inside this paragraph? Informal, yeah, I think that is informal. That's true. Yes, exactly. This is an example or even an anecdote. Anecdote, like a long anecdote, okay? Anecdote is like a personal story about something that happened to me, Okay, or of course it can also be a personal story about your friend, your cousin, your brother, anything like that. Okay, so in this example, we hear about the person going to one class. Okay, what kind of class it was, what they do during the class. Um, So they provide a lot of different supporting details, like what it means, okay, the activities that they do, the results, um, and then sort of like a description of the class, a little bit of personal information, okay, and then what about the last sentence? Would you say that this is a concluding sentence? Oops, I wanted that to be blue, but I can't do it now. Okay, so would you say this is a concluding sentence? You can try different types of group exercise class until you find one that works for you to help you stay healthy. I think yes, this is a concluding sentence. Yeah, it is. It is a suggestion. It's a concluding sentence that makes a suggestion, and it does link back to the topic sentence about group classes. So all of this information in the anecdote, there's just one anecdote. There's just one, okay? And it is very specific because it's really just all about one class, okay? So what do you think about this style of body paragraph? What's your opinion of this style of body paragraph? Okay, is this a good style of paragraph? Also, do you think this is easy or difficult to write? To write a paragraph with an example, like a long example like this, or an anecdote. What's your opinion about this style of body paragraph? Okay. I agree this can definitely be easier if you have an example, okay? If you can't think of any example, like any personal example, then it's not easy, right? Because you can't think of anything, right? So so for you too, Karina and I, maybe this seems easier than before. Okay. So in general, we want to use a mix of styles. I think it's better to use a mix of styles. If we have every body paragraph with an anecdote, it's maybe not quite as good. Okay, so you can mix different styles in your essay because you have 3 body paragraphs, so you can use at least 2 or 3 different types of paragraphs. And you can write your own body paragraphs too. This is just a different way that I'm showing you. Okay, let's look at the last example. And they're all it's starting the same way that everything started, with our topic sentence, and then followed by some very general information, that general sentence, okay? It does look like an anecdote, but it's a little bit different. So I want you to read it and go ahead and read it and then think about how is it different from that one. Okay, so basically this is like an anecdote too. It is very similar to an anecdote, but the difference between this paragraph and the paragraph before is that this one is more very good. It is a personal story, has organized details. Yes. Anyone else have another way that it's either similar or different than the previous paragraph, the previous one? How do you think it could be different? Let's say. How do you think it could be different? It has more like a mix. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else have another idea? What the kind of the idea that I wanted to show in this one was more like a narrative. And that means something happens first, second, third, fourth. It's really almost in like time order. Okay. It's in a very logical order. Okay, in the other paragraph, which I can go back to, we don't really see what happens first, second, third, fourth necessarily. We just see more like a mix of information about it. But in this last one, we do see more like what happened first, second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. Okay, so and I want to mention a few things that the details provide us. By just highlighting some information. Okay, so sometimes a useful idea also when you're thinking about body paragraphs is to ask WH questions. WH questions. So here's where I started going to the classes, when, okay, with who, okay, why, and then what happened next? The gym closed, but the classes didn't stop. They moved to online. Okay, so then in the end, we still have our concluding sentence.